Welcome back to the O'Reilly 200 under the 8th caution of the evening. This time it was the 70 of Jeff Agnew having troubles coming out of turn number 4. And into the wall he went. So that truck behind the wall and the crew working on it. Let's take a look.
It looked like a right front tire went for Jeff. So that's him in the orange truck right there.
That's not the worst place to have that happen. I mean, if you're going to blow one, he was able to get it almost turned sideways before it went into the outside wall. You come up off the corner with your foot on the floorboard and that thing goes. Whew.
Yeah, that's the slowest part of the racetrack where that happens. So again, it's not good, but it's probably as good as it could have been.
We were riding along with Ross Chastain, and he was posted by NASCAR. He had to come down to pit road, so this caution good for him. Right.
Well, guys, just want to let you know that Parker Kligerman gave up 11th place on lap 173 to come down and get 4 tires and fuel on this truck. Big question I want to know is, can tires make a difference in this short amount of time? Also want to get an update on James Busher. Let's go to the other end and Hermie.
Well, Ray, James Busher's had a pretty good night, although at a quiet night. He ran in the top 5 pretty much all night, currently sits 4th. A good effort when you consider that James Busher has been under the weather pretty much all day. He's been in the infield care center getting some extra fluids and IVs to make these 200 laps tonight. And he's got a pretty good truck like everybody else, fighting track position, but a good effort for James Busher, Ray.
Well, Hermie, let's go up to second place. James, the number 23, was very, very close on fuel. They've been telling me on the radio, you got to save some. But Jay White's going to be okay here with these couple extra laps of caution. They are fine. Running in second right now. And he says his truck is just a little bit tight in the center. He's going to try to get something on Elliott Sadler here, or excuse me, on Kevin Harvick on this restart. Maybe his last chance.
Going to be a big advantage for James Busher. He will be able to line up on the outside right behind Kevin Harvick. He's been racing really, really hard for the last number of laps with that 62 South Point Toyota at Brendan Gaughan. He's going to have the advantage now on the restart.
And man, Jason White was closing in on Harvick. His truck is getting really good the later this race gets, and so this could be fun at the end.
Now it's going to be an advantage you mentioned for James Busher, because he'll start on the outside of row number 2 as we see Kyle Busch is out of his truck. Looks as though they won't go back out on the racetrack after being involved in the incident with Elliott Sadler. But again, James Busher having a very good evening. We talk about when can he get to victory lane. This is a great opportunity for him to take second away from Jason White, because he'll be on the outside, and then he will have to battle with Kevin Harvick.
You know, one good thing about Jason White's truck, though, that's where he likes to run. He's been running on the bottom of the track while chasing Kevin Harvick down, so there might be worse people to have on the inside. Jason might be able to pull it off. I think you're right. Brendan's in trouble.
I think he's in trouble because he and James Busher appear to have equal trucks, and James is going to have that advantage on the outside. It all depends on when Brendan can get back in that outside line, because they're going to be lined up on that outside line.
Clay Rogers in the 92.
And by the way, it's desperation time. I mean, we got to go.
Look at the media swarming around the driver of the 18, Kyle Busch. There's bumping and banging on the racetrack, and well, there was a little bumping and banging taking place around Kyle Busch as he's trying to walk back to his hauler.
It looks like the Pied Piper, doesn't it?
Yeah, he has got a big crowd around him, and obviously he is not very happy as he's walking, trying not to talk to anyone. Right.
Well, we'll see if we can get with Kyle here. He does talk to the media a little bit. Kyle, obviously a frustrating night out there. I know it looked like it was retaliation. I know he had Saturday. Do you think he dumped you intentionally?
Yeah, sure he did. Where's his paycheck come from, Ray?
I got that one.
Just, you know, we were racing earlier in the night. I pulled a slide job on him. He ran into me 3 times after that. And then got clear of him for a while. And then on that restart there, I was trying to slide him, get up to the top. And Spider said I was clear. I was clear at the time. Maybe I was too late. But he hooked me anyway and wrecked us. So I'm not going to put up with it.
Before the wreck happened, do you think you had a truck good enough to win?
I don't know. Track position is way too important. You know, with these trucks here, the motors, the gears, everything we've got, it's the wrong tire for here. So just really hard to pass. But anything can happen. You know, you can certainly make moves through traffic. You know, I felt like we were probably the best truck here in practice, but it doesn't matter right now.
Okay, they had worked on the truck to try to get it back in. Kyle out. Obviously, they are not going to get back in and get any extra points.
And Ray, huge story now. Jason White stopped on the racetrack. He was running second.
Got to be out of gas.
We thought he was going to have an issue with fuel. He stopped on pit road on lap 32. We didn't know if he could make it all the way, and this is the answer.
It could have been because he was on the bank of the corners and the fuel cell didn't pick up the gas. And once these things get starved for fuel, it's impossible to get them going again. So he might have a little bit of gas. And guys, I know he missed it by 20 laps, but that's only 10 miles. I mean,
that's only a little bit over 2 gallons. But as you mentioned, Michael, the pickup for these fuel cells is right in the right rear corner because of the centrifugal force.
Now, while Ray was interviewing Kyle Busch, look at the 2 team. They're watching, they're listening. They're trying to hear what Kyle Busch was saying in his interview. Delana Harvick, owner of that 2 team, and now your owner's point leader.
What a horrible break for Jay White. Just horrible.
And then also, you know, we heard Kyle Busch speak about where does Elliott Sadler get his paycheck from. Well, obviously he drives for KHI. Tonight he's driving for Joe Dennett. KHI built that track. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
A lot of synergy going on.
Those folks at KHI want to know what he was going to say, because they want to know if he was going to talk about them, and he did.
And he did. He did, and we see the 23 getting pushed back onto pit road. He will make his way to his pit stall, which is just before they enter turn number 1 on the front stretch side.
Now Brendan Gaughan's coming in the pits.
Brendan Gaughan has given up second, and he is slow on pit road. Potentially, he just ran out of fuel. Brendan Gaughan stopped on lap 54, just like the other guys that are running up front. Kevin Harvick stopped on 54.
If I was these guys, I'd be down on the flat of the racetrack.
Well, Kevin Harvick really doesn't have much of a choice to get down there.
They're side by side. When they go by this time, they're going to get the 1 to go sign.
Our second and third place trucks apparently both run out of fuel. Brendan's not going to be able to make it back. He's overstuck in between turns 2 and 3.
3 and 4, and here comes
3 and 4. I'm sorry.
To give him a shove.
Wrecker's going to give him a push, but they may turn the lights back on. We see Jason White has made it back out on the racetrack.
That little fuel miscalculation cost Jason dearly up there running in the second spot. Now he finds himself off the lead lap.
They were able to hustle and get Brendan Gaughan on his side of pit road. He'll make it to his pit stall. We will not have the caution lights come back on. It looks as though they're getting ready to go once again. Kevin Harvick on the outside. James Buescher now on the inside. Todd Bodine has moved up to the outside of row number 2. Coming at it, turn number 4.
Austin Dillon's out of fuel right in the middle of the field.
17 laps to go. Austin Dillon has problems. He runs out of fuel as they come to the start-finish line. The green flag does fly. Bodine moves up to second. James Buescher back to third. Side by side for 4th.
I'm not sure we won't see some more guys run out of fuel now.
Austin Dillon down on the apron through 1 and 2. The field going by it. The 62 of Brendan Gaughan trying to get back up to speed and back on the racetrack.
Guys, keep an eye on that 29 truck of Parker Kligerman. He came to the pit road and got fresh tires at lap 173, and now he's back up in the top 10.
Austin Dillon scored a lap down. He came onto pit road at lap 54. As well as Kevin Harvick, as well as Todd Bodine, James Buescher, Johnny Sauter, all the guys up front all came on pit road at lap 54. Caution now comes out for the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Man, everybody in this race is now, all those guys that pitted on lap 54, they're questioning their strategy. Can they make it? And why did they pit so early when they didn't know if they could make it, needed some caution laps? Because of what Kyle Busch said. It's so hard to pass. You got to get that track position. Ray.
Hey, Michael, by the calculations from Danny Stockman, the crew chief, they were good to lap 207 on the 3 truck. And Austin had come on and said, I've only got 2 pounds of fuel pressure. And obviously it did run out. But by calculation, they should have been plenty good.
And it may be a situation where maybe they didn't get them full of fuel either. But they're on the bank of the racetrack and that fuel runs away from the pickup.
Stay with us. The exciting finish coming up. Fuel, the big question. Does anyone have enough to get to the checkered flag? Kevin Harvick. We see Jason White back on pit road. Kevin Harvick out in front of this field. He came to pit road at lap 54. Todd Bodine came to on pit road on lap 54. Buescher, Sauter, Coulter, Peters, PK Jr., and Lofton all came to pit road on lap 54.
Our top 8 came on that strategy. Be interesting to see if all 8 of them can make it. Ray, what's happening?
Mike Hillman Jr. just said, shake that truck, shake that truck. Todd said it was sputtering a little bit, and Mike said we should be 10 laps to the good, so make sure you're getting it all picked up.
I don't understand why they're not riding on the apron of the racetrack. Nelson Piquet Jr. was riding on the apron of the racetrack. Now, obviously, Kevin Harvick, the guys outside, can't do that. But I don't know why during the caution they weren't riding down on the flat of the racetrack.
Well, you don't want to get all that stuff on your tires, might be one reason, but you definitely don't want to run out of gas. So it's a risk-reward situation. You get down on the apron, get that tire buildup on there, they throw the green flag, you can't hold your position.
Because of centrifugal force, they put the pickups to the right side of the tanks, on the right rear of the tanks of these trucks, and when they run on the banking, that fuel runs away from where the pickup is.
When they're going slow,
they're going slow. Coming to the green one more time. Harvick out in front. Todd Bodine running second. Now moving up on the outside. Johnny Sauter in the 13 takes second away from Bodine down the backstretch.
What a great move by Johnny Sauter. He had to be aggressive. He had to pin it right to the side of Todd Bodine. He did everything perfectly. Got a great restart, and now he's got the leader in his sights.
How about the 17 truck with a backup? Not one lap on the racetrack before qualifying. Right now battling for the 4th spot with Buescher.
Inside of 9 laps of racing to go. Harvick in front of Johnny Sauter, Todd Bodine. Here comes Timothy Peters for 4th. James Buescher runs 5th. The top 5 spreading out. Now Coulter moving to the outside of James Buescher, trying to take that 5th spot away.
How about Justin Lofton, guys? We haven't talked a whole lot about Justin Lofton as we see some 3-wide racing. Justin right now in that 6th truck running 7th.
Less than 7 laps to go. This time by Harvick will see 6 laps remaining in this race. He's never won at Bristol in a truck. He came very close in 2003. He's trying to rectify that situation.
See, Matt Crafton had problems earlier with a flat tire. Matt's being shown 2 laps down. There's our side-by-side battle. Timothy Peters, James Buescher for 4th.
James just says, I'm so close. Please say clear, spotter. I don't want to feel my way into this Timothy Peters guy, but I might have to.
Timothy Peters all the way up, almost into the wall as they went through the turn. 5 laps of racing to go. Inside of 4 now. Kevin Harvick down the backstretch. He's got 6 truck lengths over Johnny Sauter. With the laps winding down, Sauter making a hard charge now. Coming out of turn number 4. 3 laps remaining.
Watch how hard Johnny Sauter drives this thing down into the bottom of that corner. He's driving in so deep. Loses it on the exit right there. But that's just desire. He's running in as hard as he can go.
Guys, remember since 2008 when Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick are in the same field. Only a couple times at Martinsville has anyone else won these races.
Just twice. And so now Johnny Sauter trying to reel in just under 2 laps to go. Harvick in front. Sauter running second. Todd Bodine is 3rd. James Buescher 4th. The battle continues for 5th behind him. White flag goes in the air. 1 to go for Kevin Harvick.
Johnny Sauter can taste it, but he just can't get there.
Kevin Harvick coming into this race had the momentum. He's won the 2 previous races in the Camping World Truck Series, and he's going to go to victory lane in the Truck Series from Bristol.
Side-by-side battle for a top 5 spot.
Timothy Peters barely edges Joey Coulter for that 5th spot.
A great side-by-side battle for that position. There is your top 13 as they cross the line. Kevin Harvick goes to victory lane again. It's 3 wins in a row in the Camping World Truck Series. Herman.
Well, Bruce Cook, you sat on top of this pit box and convinced your driver you had enough fuel to get to the end. Were you concerned when you saw some other drivers run out of fuel?
Oh, I was very concerned. I did a lot of convincing there, and probably gonna go home and say a couple prayers tonight because a lot of convincing. I wasn't type. I was sure about we can get to the end. I wasn't sure about how much you could serve, so that was the biggest problem. But he did an awesome job. Can't say enough about this team. It just keeps plugging along, and it's awesome. Awesome win here at Bristol, and that's 3 in a row, so that's awesome.
Congratulations, Bruce Cook is going to victory lane.
Kevin Harvick puts another track on the list of tracks that he has won in the Truck Series, the Nationwide Series, and the Cup Series. It's the 5th track he's been able to do that at.